This is video series on public administration and this is video 2.6 and today's topic is dynamic administration. So this was the main thinker is MP Follett and how dynamic her ideas were we will see now. So first introduction, she was the first female administrative thinker. So means in whole Prasad and Prasad I have just seen her. She is the first only woman and ahead of her times, classical era. So she wrote her ideas during the time of Taylor, Fayol, Urvik and Gulick. So she was from classical era, but her ideas are much ahead of her times. We will see her ideas later. Link between classical and future theorists. So you can say that her ideas were a combination of the both ideas, and later theorists have developed her ideas accordingly. And okay, this is covered by me. It doesn't relate to the syllabus, but just to honor her, she is a brilliant thinker, easy to understand and real concepts on which future thinkers expanded their theories. And salute to woman power. D. Thank you. So we will start. So her first her views on individual. So she says that human beings are social animal and they need cooperation. Means human beings cannot exist individually. They want to interact with each other so that they can have a good life. So what happens after cooperation? They form groups. So groups, what is group? It is outgrowth of human nature. As you have seen that human nature is that he is a social animal. Then group leads to interaction and inter-influencing. So once the group is formed, means the society is formed, people interact with each other and they influence each other's ideas and they have conflicts, issues, or they have cooperation. So these are the things. And interaction evolves into doctrine of whole. So once the group is formed and people interact with each other, they join themselves with each other. They have a means capacity to form a whole or totalness. Means like you have 3-4 friends, so you form a group, and if some fight occurs, so you all 4 will be involved. So like that. And this is just very general example. Don't write it. Then so what happens? First individual, then group, then state is formed. So how what she talks about is state, group and individual, they have symbiotic relationship, means they are dependent on each other, and different identity, means the individual is having identity with the group, but he has his own individual identity. For example, I can identify myself as means what I am, and then I can identify myself as the citizen of the country. And she says that state is highest form of group, means the state is also having symbiotic relationship with its citizens. Means if citizens do good, then state will prosper, and if state is doing good in its foreign relations and everything, then citizens will prosper. They will get dignity and merit everywhere. So we have to work so that our country gets respect in the society, world society, and so that we also get respect. Then her views on representative democracy. So she rejects representative democracy. We have representative democracy in India. Like, what is representative? Means people give votes and they choose their representatives, and the representative represents them in the legislature, like MP, MLAs, these things. So she said that this thing is not good. Why? Because this is based on law of consent, then law of coaction. So what is law of consent? Means people have consented that okay, you are my leader, you are representing myself, they are delegating. But law of coaction means they consult, means participation, they work with each other. Participative theorist you will see later, Argyris, McGregor, Likert. So you can see that how her ideas are futuristic. Then in representative democracy, few decide and many follow. So as you can see that as soon as you vote, then all your power is gone. So once your vote is in ballot box, or when you have pushed the button of EVM, then later means the representatives don't care about you. They just do whatever they think, or means whatever they feel like this is right. So they are the few who decides, and we have just given our authority, so we follow them. Then the concept of participative democracy. So as you have seen that she has rejected representative democracy. So in participative democracy, direct participation in decision making, like you can see Gram Sabha, or you can see these self-help groups or NGOs, or means like Mohalla Sabha of Aam Aadmi Party. So here people are participating directly, or means these cooperatives. In cooperatives also people take collective decision making, or you can see that the annual meeting of any company, annual shareholder meeting, there also people participate directly. Then participative democracy has group orientation, means it is not individualistic. Here a group is involved and it can decide for itself. Then let's see the ideas of Follett on administration. So her first idea is on conflict. Later we will see her ideas on power, leadership, authority, responsibility and everything. But this is the best thing which Follett differed from the classical thinkers on the conflict. What was the classical view? Classical thinkers were saying that means conflict is dangerous and destructive and is byproduct of flaws in organizational structure. So according to them, means conflict was if the organizational structure is not properly implemented or is not properly formed, then conflicts will arise naturally, and so means it is the byproduct of flawed organizational structure, and we have to rectify that. So they have totally neglected a psychological aspect of human relations. Means psychology means related to your behavior and means your psychology, mind. Then Follett says that conflict is natural and thereby can't be avoided. So you have to remember this particular sentence, that conflict can't be avoided, and it is natural also, means it occurs naturally. Then manner of handling conflict makes it destructive or constructive. So how you handle the conflict, that will decide that if it is beneficial for the organization or it is going to harm the organization. So how to handle the conflict we will see now. So what are the strategies to manage conflict? So these three strategies are there: domination, compromise and integration. So we will see their features. So in domination, what happens? One will imposed on the other. So here two people are fighting, so you will say that okay, this first person is right and second person is wrong, you are the boss. So by your authority and power, you say that first person's, you just accept whatever he is saying. So this means his will is imposed. So this leads to more conflict. This is destructive approach, means it is harmful for the organization. Then second is compromise, mutual adjustment. This is the means most followed strategy, and here what happens means partial gains and partial losses. Means whatever the conflict was on whatever issue, so a part of your demand and the part of your adversary demand, they both are accepted. So you both lose something and gain something, and status quo is maintained. Means in most of the cases what is means happening, like stay order of the court. So in compromise also, whatever is means whatever the situation, the problem is not solved, it is there. It is just a method of mutual adjustment, that is compromise. Then the third is integration. So this is the idea of the Follett. So she says that principle of evocation. Evocation means imaginative recreation. So you have to understand the problem, you have to recreate the problem and its solution accordingly. So imagination is very important. Then open confrontation and synthesis, idea oblique solution. So open confrontation means you have to bring the confrontation or the problem on in totally openness. It means you have to understand the problem and then synthesize new ideas and solutions. So then you have to somehow think that what could be the possible solution. And synthesize means you have to take care of the problem of both sides, and you have to synthesize some solution which is acceptable to both, and both are, means the strategy is win-win strategy, because both of them don't lose anything, they just mutually accept and gain something. So according to Follett, this integration requires some features. First is that the people who are in conflict, they should be skilled. Then they should be flexible and rational people, means they should not be like totally adamant that whatever I am saying that is right and it should be fulfilled. They should have an aptitude to integrate the thoughts of others, to accept what other people are saying. So the arrogant people are not required, means the arrogant are those people who can't accept others' ideas, they can't lead to integration. Then development of sense of participation. So integration method is the only method in which people feel like they are participants of the conflict resolution process. Then we will talk about responses. So there are two types, linear response and circular response. So in linear response, what happens means the path of information goes in a linear way, and in circular response, what happens, it comes back to you, means a feedback is also there. So in linear response, like this is the leader, so after that he will delegate to him, then he will to him. And in circular response, you can see that the information will again come to you back, this like this. So you can see that this boss talks to him, then he talks to him, then he talks to him. So later when you will see the models of decision making, you will see that these things are actually implemented later. And then Follett's thought on leadership. So she says that a leader is the person who understands situation in totality, means who understand everything about the problem and successfully moves from one situation to the other. So one situation is that you are not able to solve the problem, you have some conflict, and then you successfully solve it and move to the other situation, means the other problem, or means solving this and going to work, means fine. Then types of leadership. So she says that there are three types of leadership. First is leadership by position, second is leadership by personality, and third is leadership by function. So as you can see that leadership by position, like bureaucrats, even that Max Weber's rational bureaucracy, that is also leadership by position. You have the position, that's why you have the authority, or legal rational authority is due to your position rather than your personality. And the leadership by personality, you have seen like charismatic personality in Weber's bureaucracy also. So here actually Follett is talking about leadership by personality, means you have position plus personality, means you are able leader, means you are good leader as well as you have position also. And then leadership by function. So this is the most important concept, means she says that the right leader is the leader who can actually work according to the situation, according to the function. Means if some problem occurs and if a lower level employee is also able to rectify it, so let him become the leader. So leadership should be situational rather than positional, or means other features. So this is the best way. And in this, circular response occurs, means the leadership talks to the other people and they talk to leadership, and by consultation and participation the solutions are formed. And knowledge sharing means, as you can see that when circular response will be there, then people will share their knowledge with each other. So this is all about leadership. And I will talk about the other things like power and authority, and then what Follett says about order, then depersonalization of power, then control, coordination strategies. So these things we will see in next video. And thank you guys, thank you for watching.